The Bear and Cheryl Show. Hello, everyone. It has been a while since I've done a video because I've been back at school and amazing things have happened. Amazing. Me and Bear's hanging out. And I wanted to do this as well for Show Off Sunday, which is really coming up, so it's pretty exciting. So this is my installment of Show Off Sunday. And as well, I just watched my friend Silver's video and I was inspired because I thought he was crazy brave and honorable. So I thought, on that note, as we've had very similar experiences, I wanted to be brave too and talk about that. So I had a few things I wanted to share in the sense of, for the Intergifted Creativity Group, a way of creativity that is maybe movie making or TV making or something like that. As well, I want to share it as a healing journey for me. So it's kind of a combination. And I want to give you guys a little bit of an update about my book, which is going brilliantly up to a point. But I suppose what else I want to talk about is I had an incident happen at work, and it's been rather upsetting, and it's given me pause. I did get a job. Remember, I was saying, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm going to be somewhere. Well, I am somewhere. I'm at a wonderful place. I don't want to give too much away because we are on the YouTube. Although I know it's basically just my inner gifted peeps probably that's reading this and watching this. But I'm really at a school that I love. Law of attraction really does work, but sometimes it takes a while, especially if you had my life, because you got to release all the crap and all the stuff. And it's ridiculously painful to do that, but worth it. Like, healing is worth it. It doesn't always feel like that, but it's so extraordinary. The good things that you can manifest that belong to you and always did, but you have to get rid of all this debris, right? That's there. So, lovely school, full-time, every day. Love my students, love my colleagues, love where it is. The commute's not that bad either. So that's great. But then on Wednesday, I was injured at work in this really sudden way that I didn't anticipate at all. And to make matters worse was one of my core beliefs was you're not allowed to have anything. And so I have been having things. I have been having success. So it's been really terrifying because it's like, well, I want to keep this. I don't want anybody to take this job away. I want to keep this job. So then I get hurt. And there's a lot of core beliefs got put out there. Right, well, Bear's happy because he sees me more, right? Because he loves me. He doesn't want to hang out by himself all the time. Stream close up. I just love doing that. So, anyway, but I'm a little upset because, I had it going on. So, basically, long story short, one of the students didn't really mean to, but I'm kind of fragile a little bit. I mean, great payload, As Sheldon said, the light bulb in this oven is ridiculously bright. So, yeah. But the body, So, well, actually, that's not true either, because I wouldn't be here if my body wasn't strong. I wouldn't have survived, and I did survive. So my body's bloody strong, too. But, yanked on my arm, this grade 12 fella, and, yeah, pulled all the tendons in my shoulder. That hurts like hell, by the way. If that's ever happened. Not only that, your arm doesn't work anymore, which is weird because it's like I can always push through. I had friggin' walking pneumonia, and I was at work because it was like, don't be sick. Don't be weak. Don't be any of those things. Push yourself. So, I did. Of course, they never did it, but they made me do it. And this lovely woman finally one day was like, honey child, go to the doctor. You are sick. I don't know why I listened to her, but I did. Thank God. Turns out I almost was going to go to the hospital. So it took me months to get over that. That was a few years ago. And yeah, so my arm didn't work. So I was like, should I go to it? And I couldn't go to work the next day. And then I went to the doctor's. He was lovely, and found a doctor who was lovely, and everything like that. So that's been good. That's been going on. And but I can't believe I almost didn't report it. What a stupid thing to do. Because if I hadn't have, I wouldn't. And if it doesn't heal up, for example, that means I don't get anything, right? And we have a fairly good plan, so I can get things if it really is messed up, because that happened at work. So, and I'm like, I think I did that because I was so used to the legacy of abuse and putting up with it and just it being natural, like people just get to hurt you and get away with it. It was almost like, and then actually when I was at the pharmacist, she's like, you didn't tell anybody? I'm like, well, no, not yet. She's like, go and tell somebody. So I was brave, and I called the school, and there's an incident report. I had to fill that out, but I did, so that was good. So I'm covered. I'm good that way. And I did go to the doctor, and all that stuff. So I'm good that way. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to go back soon, and that my job will be there. But it will, because who can take it? Because it's not 1980 anymore. So that was my sort of scary part of things. So I've been home, and I'm home. I'm hoping to be able to go to work, though, when I can. But speaking of 1980, for the more upside of this wonderful, video, I was wanting to talk about sort of amazing things that sort of happened. And I was at the Walmart a while ago, and I happened across a video that I loved when I was little. This is the video. Let me show you. Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Awesome. So anyway, that was one of my favorite shows of all time. I remember when it premiered, it was like 1979. And even though, my sister and I were crazy abused, weirdly enough, we were allowed to go see this movie. It was in the theater, in this dinky little theater where we used to live in this tiny little hick town, BC, and we actually were able to go, and I loved it. Gil Gerard was an extraordinary man and an extraordinary person. And then it became a TV show, and I was so blessed sort of to watch it because he was not mean. He was not horrible. At least his character wasn't. I don't know about him personally, but, I assume he's a lovely man. And it was amazing. And what was even more amazing is sometimes we got to go to my nanny's house, my grandpa's house, and we weren't hurt there. They didn't hurt us. So there was a sense of safety. So it was like a double safety, because often, I think it was on the weekend, the show was, so we could watch it. So I was like this, for this like hour or two, it was this beautiful sort of oasis of calm and peace, right, that I had in this otherwise rather nightmarish existence as we are continuing to heal. And another interesting thing about that point is that your mind does this weird thing where it's like, well, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, because you're trying to survive. But the horrible thing of it is that you have all these core beliefs around it. So if you don't see it for what it really was, you can't release them. Like, you know what? It really was that bad. And you developed all this crap to survive. And it really was. And they really did do that. And you need to sort of understand that and sort of get that it wasn't you and start like pulling out all these lies and all that stuff. So, amazing movie. Wonderful show for the time. I highly recommend it. You can actually watch a lot of free episodes, I think, on YouTube, at least some of them. And really ahead of its time. Amazing. And sort of, I think Star Trek and all the shows, this Next Generation to come after it, really borrowed. And the uniforms were cool. And he was amazing. I was crazy in love with him. And Aaron Gray, who went on to even greater success with Silver Spoons. Yet another show, crazy in love with, deserves its own Baron Cheryl show moment, because changed my life too. I loved it so much. I love Silver Spoon so much. So she went on to do that. So I've been really enjoying that, considering it's weird when you can't push through something. I'm a push through person, and my arm, you can't lift it. You can't move. You can barely move it. So driving is very difficult. Picking up things, putting on a sweater is pretty difficult. So what I've been doing pretty much since Wednesday is sitting and putting ice on it. That's what I've been doing, and trying to get it to sort of calm down, because the doctor thinks if it will calm down, then hopefully the pain will go down. I'll be able to use it again. Everything will be okay. So that's really, so it's given me pause, because, you know, all the terror of, oh my God, I'm resting. Oh my God, I'm resting is coming up. But I'm forcing myself to say, you know what? Maybe I should rest. Maybe it's okay to rest. I mean, I can't very well do much else. And all that, oh, you can do something else. If you're at home, you can be busy at home. It's not about that. So I released that, right? It's not about being busy at home. You have to rest. So that's what I've been forced to do. So I thought I wanted to make the video for everyone else who may have had that problem. So he's just been a wonderful part of my childhood. So it's weird, because watching the show again, because it wasn't on syndication that much, it's like I'm transported back to being 12 again. And you know, the bittersweet of how beautiful it was to see him, and how painful my childhood was, and how I wish I could go back and save that child and help that child. And yet I'm like, I am that child, so like save myself now. I'm 50, do something now. And I thought, on that note, I have been watching My Wonderful Bob. And so this is an example of him, Vegas, right there, the wonderful man that I cared so much about. This is one of the shows that he was in. And so I thought these two men really meant so much to me in my life. So I wanted to share that. And so lots of good things are happening too. Lots of exciting things are happening too. So in my life, like I said, I love the job. I'm getting so much amazing epiphanies about my life. I'm feeling so much stronger on the whole, and better on the whole. And I'm sure this setback will, you know, actually be a setup for greatness, for goodness. And it's all about evolution. And I highly, highly still believe that everything's for the good. So, to give you a small update, as I don't want to make this too big, the book is going, or was going, extraordinary. It's writing itself, really. I'm on chapter 10. I haven't been able to write, obviously, for a while, because I was really busy. And I can't really use my hand right now. So, I'm hoping that I will be able to actually write in a while, and keep you up to date with that. But I just wanted to do a Bear and Cheryl show. Bear and I say hi. Happy fall. Happy fall. Happy fall. And happy September. And I hope everybody has a wonderful show-off Sunday. And until I have a new show, have a good day. The Bear and Cheryl Show.